The fight between Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero just concluded, and the boxing world has been quick to react, with fans, fighters, and analysts dissecting every moment of the high-stakes bout.
I mean, these were strange fights,
yeah.
A couple of them, you know, but it was great to be back doing blow by blow. Had a fantastic time with Antonio Tarver. Had a fantastic time with Mike Coppinger.
Yeah.
I wish that there had been more action.
Yeah.
It's quite unbelievable. CompuBox has counted punches in 15,000 fights.
Wow.
2 of those fights are now among the 5 fights with the lowest number of punches ever. Okay.
Wow.
So you're looking at 2 of the 5 lowest punch output fights in a 15,000 fight catalog. That's unreal. These are supposed to be action fighters, you
Definitely.
know? And you would have thought that Garcia would have recognized from the midpoint of the fight on that he had to generate more activity.
Yes.
But he didn't. Derek James yelled at him, tried to get him to do it, etc., etc. Fighters are unusual human beings. They don't always do what we expect them to do. Rolly Romero moved up in weight, put on a lot of muscle, looked spectacular in there, and had a plan and executed. Won the fight.
Definitely.
Man, it was cool. You know, yeah, we sat here for all 3 fights. You know, it was alright though.
What do you think about Ryan? Where does he go from here after this loss?
I don't know. It looking like everybody got to go back to the scoreboard. You know, I feel like Rolly. You know, I like the way the both
to the both
boards they got. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I like the way Rolly took his time. He picked his shots and stuff like that. You know, that was my take of the whole night. You know, that was the best part of the night. Just watching Rolly take his time, pick his shots. You know, he was strong for sure. You know, but we knew that.
Was it the layoff? You think the year layoff? He wasn't active.
I don't know.
Or he just doesn't
was.
want it.
I don't know what it is. I can't say. You know, I wasn't in his camp or nothing like that. But you know, it could be a few things. You know, some people say it was a PEDs. So you know, he's got to get back.
Definitely. Now talking about Devin Haney, what did you think about his performance?
I feel like everybody could have did a little bit better. You know, we seen all of them perform better.
Yeah,
you know,
that was another year layoff, so maybe that affected him.
Right, possibly.
Yeah.
By Ryan Garcia's performance tonight, a fantastic victory for Rolando Romero. Almost made it look kind of easy.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I was surprised how he. I think he just never recovered from that check hook that Rolly did on him. So, you know, I think he was too hesitant, and maybe the hunger is not there like it should be for Ryan Garcia. But hopefully he gets back on his feet, and hopefully we still see the rematch between himself and Devin Haney.
You were super outgoing all fight week. I asked Ryan in the build-up, I said, is it hard when you're doing big podcasts or having a go at each other to focus on your opponent? You seem like the only one who maybe kept that focus in there. What was the whole build-up like for you? This was different, right?
It's our job. It's our job to entertain everyone, all of you that are watching. It's our job to give everybody a show. I mean, we're having so many people cross over. We had 200 or 300 special talent guests around watching us fight tonight in the ring. So you got to live up to it. You have to. And I'm that type of person that always wants to exceed to those expectations.
I know you didn't see Ryan's fight, but you know he obviously lost.
Yeah.
Devin won. Like, you think there's still interest to see that?
Fight, look.
So there's interest more to see that fight with
Anthony
Haney
Joshua lost his last fight, and so did Fury. And if they fight each other, it's gonna be huge. So Haney versus Garcia is still gonna be a big fight. I think they should do it. Still big.
Hey Ryan, keep your hands up, Ryan. Let's go. Keep your hands up. Stay calm and relax, nigga. Relax, Ryan. Good job, baby. Inteligente.
The double on that booty. Straight up in the air.
Damn! Yo, Keyshawn, what do you think? What happened?
I thought he was gonna stop. Yo, I thought he was gonna. I thought I boxed too.
I'm at the judges' table.
Virgil, what's up, champ? Just got to get your reaction about what you think about that Rolly win.
He deserved it. Ryan just wasn't active enough. Rolly was landing more punches. There wasn't really a whole lot to go off of, but Rolly was more effective.
Are you surprised by the dub? No. You thought Rolly could pull it off?
I didn't know who was gonna win. If I'm being, I thought it was gonna end in a knockout by either way. But I didn't know who. But I'm surprised that it went to the distance.
Were you shocked when he got dropped?
No, because Rolly hits hard.
When I go back to Ryan Garcia really quickly, you talked about it's just bad matchmaking. Is a lot of this pro fight game stuff just as important for the matchmaker to be just as astute at his job as it is the fighter?
Absolutely. But you can't blame, without knowing the background, you can't blame anybody, because it may very well be that the people at Golden Boy were telling Garcia, don't go into a fight like this, take a tune-up fight, get yourself back in the ring and so forth. I mean, anybody who knows boxing would tell Garcia that's what he should do. But I guess the money that Turkey put up was so big that they decided to go for the money. But that doesn't make any sense.
And we saw this before last summer with Big Baby, kind of a similar thing. Is this money that's being thrown at these fighters to the detriment of their careers, and they're not realizing it?
It could be
yet?
to the detriment of the career, because the fighters look at the money, and that's all they care about, and they don't realize that maybe you don't take a fight that you shouldn't take. I mean, Big Baby was so unprepared for Bacoli that it was a joke. We told him, we were against the fight. Our matchmakers were against the fight. But, this was a multi-million-dollar purse, and Big Baby insisted on taking it, and Bacoli knocked him out. So sometimes you can't blame the matchmakers or promoters. Sometimes it's the fighter who's blinded with the money.
Eddie, just your reaction, man.
I can't believe it. I mean, I said this kind of environment, sometimes it can just, I don't know what to say. I mean,
flabbergasted.
Ryan and Devin just dropped the bag like the biggest bag drop you've ever seen. I mean, tonight was going to be those two in the ring facing off for the big rematch.
It's done?
I can't believe it.
Is it Rolly versus Devin next?
About it. But listen, props to Rolly, but Ryan just didn't turn up at all. And he didn't really try and win the fight, did he? I know he got buzzed early. It wasn't a really heavy knockdown, but he just let the fight pass him by. It's crazy.
With the post-fight dust settling, it's worth revisiting the wide range of predictions and expectations that came before the two fighters stepped into the ring. These forecasts painted a vivid picture of how insiders and fans viewed the matchup, opinions that now serve as a snapshot of the pre-fight mindset across the boxing landscape. Trainer Robert Garcia expressed strong belief in Ryan Garcia's chances. He focused on Ryan's exceptional hand speed and his dangerous left hook, which he viewed as pivotal weapons in deciding the contest. Robert emphasized that while he respected Romero's toughness and ability to take punishment, he expected Garcia's accuracy and explosiveness to be too much for Romero to endure over the course of the fight. He predicted that Garcia's precision would gradually wear Romero down.
I think Ryan.
Why?
Yeah, he's just fast and has a tremendous left hook. So I think it's a competitive fight, and I think Rolly is game enough to put up a good fight and go till the end. But I think eventually Ryan lands that left hook and probably hurts him.
Romero's coach, Bullet, displayed unwavering confidence in his fighter leading up to the bout. He described Romero as being in prime condition both physically and mentally, crediting a focused training camp and an aggressive mindset they termed dog mode. Bullet believed that Romero's best path to victory would come through relentless pressure right from the opening bell. He predicted that this sustained aggression could disrupt Garcia's timing and even lead to a stoppage win in Romero's favor.
Who you got?
I got Rolly. Rolly in shape. Rolly in dog mode again. We're already in his head for years back, so Rolly knows how to beat him. And like I say, if he goes in shape and bring back the Johnny Taco, the centering boxing Rolly, that dog Rolly can stop anybody.
Wait, you say we, so no hard feelings that you're rooting for the man then?
I've always rooted for him. I'm never not rooted for him.
Eddie Hearn offered a more measured view before the fight. He acknowledged Romero's entertainment value and charisma, suggesting that his flair brought something special to the sport. However, he made it clear that in terms of technical boxing skill, Garcia held the edge. Hearn predicted a dominant and relatively uncomplicated win for Garcia, stating that his fundamentals, speed, and ring IQ would be enough to keep Romero at bay and secure a clear victory.
You know, that younger generation. Ryan Garcia, huge name. Devin Haney, huge name. Tito Lopez, huge name. And do you know what? What I like about it as well, they're all in real fights. You know, I love Rolly. I think he's a great character, but I think Ryan will deal with him well.
George Kambosas Jr., who himself has faced high-level competition in the lightweight ranks, saw the matchup as an intriguing one. He pointed out Romero's impressive physical conditioning heading into the fight, but questioned his depth as a boxer. Kambosas expressed doubt about whether Romero's power alone could carry him through against a more refined fighter like Garcia. He predicted a knockout victory for Garcia based on the latter's superior power and sharpness, though he left the door open for a surprise if Romero had improved significantly since past outings.
Garcia, Rolly, as much as I've had my shit back and forth with Ryan, it'll be an interesting fight. Not style-wise, I think Ryan will probably knock him out. I think the lead-up is going to be fun. Rolly's, he loves to talk. He's not very smart. His IQ's not very smart, so I think it's going to be a funny lead-up. And we'll see in the fight, but again, they got history sparring. That always brings confidence. You see the sparring, Rolly looked good in the sparring sessions that they put out there. You don't know, that there, they might have an edge on him somewhere, so we'll see.
Andrew Tate, known more for his public persona than boxing credentials, also shared his views before the bout. He expressed admiration for Ryan Garcia's confidence and his tendency to speak his mind, citing those traits as signs of a strong-willed fighter. Tate also highlighted Garcia's famed left hook, calling it one of the most dangerous tools in his arsenal. While he didn't delve deeply into technical breakdowns, he made it clear that he backed Garcia, largely due to a combination of mindset and natural talent.
I think the main event's the main event, right? Ryan's amazing. Ryan's a great guy. He's amazing. I like that he stands up for himself. He's not afraid to say what he thinks. And he's got a pretty fast left hook also, so I really want
Trainer Abel Sanchez took a more analytical approach to the pre-fight discussion. He underscored Garcia's physical advantages, including size, speed, and punching power, and felt these elements would put Romero at a clear disadvantage. Sanchez predicted an early round victory for Garcia, stating that Romero's fighting style had not shown much evolution over the years. He viewed that stagnation as a major liability, especially against someone as fast and explosive as Garcia.
I think on paper, Ryan is the more complete fighter, right, Abel?
Ryan is the bigger, stronger, faster, bigger puncher. Ryan looks huge compared to Rolly. And I think that size and the power is going to be the difference. I think that Rolly is not really developed from, say, four or five fights ago. He's still the same guy. I don't know who he's working with now.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis, who had shared the ring with both fighters, offered a unique and credible point of view. He didn't commit to a specific prediction, but refused to rule out a Romero upset. Tank believed the fight would be highly entertaining and said that a surprise result wouldn't be crazy, though he refrained from publicly choosing sides. His analysis centered on the idea that both fighters had attributes that could make the fight swing dramatically in either direction.
Can Rolly pull off the upset against Ryan?
Can Rolly pull off the upset?
Yeah, do you
I don't want to say that's crazy, but yeah, hopefully, bro. Hopefully for the sake of Rolly, he pull it off. But it's gonna be a good fight. No, you think? Huh?
Someone's gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody get knocked out.
Who hit a little harder though? Was it Ryan or was it Rolly? Because they both clearly.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly hit hard. They people be sleeping on Rolly because he been obviously, I don't know how to say it, obviously.
Veteran Cutman and analyst Vic Cutman evaluated Romero's recent stylistic changes, particularly since teaming up with Coach Bullet. Cutman noted that Romero had shifted from a wild, power-punching style to a more cautious and technical approach. While this was viewed by some as growth, Cutman argued it may have come at the expense of Romero's natural instincts and confidence. He believed this change had diluted Romero's knockout threat and made him more vulnerable against a sharp, aggressive opponent like Garcia. As such, he predicted a win for Garcia based on these adjustments in Romero's game.
So, Rolly, when he was with Bullet, had a certain fighting style. They tried to change that fighting style and turn him into a boxer. He's not a boxer. They took away a power puncher's power and his belief in himself. And that's why I believe that Ryan Garcia all day long. And I like Rolly.
Teofimo Lopez also shared his take before the opening bell. He leaned toward a Garcia victory, pointing to Garcia's heightened motivation and mental focus as factors that could drive an elite performance. Still, Lopez cautioned against underestimating Romero's power. He made it clear that a single well-timed punch from Romero had the potential to dramatically alter the outcome. Lopez's overall stance was that Garcia was favored, but Romero still possessed a legitimate puncher's chance.
I think right now they're probably going to announce a lot of fights to be finalized. That's my opinion on that. However, I think that it's a great matchup. I think it's a good storyline for Rolly as well. And I think they're going to fight at 47.
Yeah. Rolly's a big dude. Obviously, he has that power. Ryan has that right hook.
Yep.
So, who do you got?
I got Ryan. I got Ryan Garcia.
Why?
Yeah, I just think that from that fight and since then, he hasn't been fighting for that long of a period and then being stopped the way he was. I think he might be changing trainers, or he might still be with Salas, but even then, but I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think Ryan needs to be careful with Rolly's punching power, because Rolly still got power, man, and definitely could do something to Ryan with those shots.
These were the predictions that shaped the lead up to one of the sport's most talked about matchups. So how did you react to this fight? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.